Good morning, Bix Weir, roadroo.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of water. It is early morning on Saturday the 30th. I did update the private road repo report, so I will be keeping you guys up to date on that starting Monday, but I updated it for the rest of last week and the week before. And as expected, it keeps growing and growing and growing. Right now, the total bailout needed for this weekend, which is Friday to Monday, is $316.62 billion with a B. So the banks would have gone under had not the $316 billion be lent to them overnight. Some of these are long-term purchases. Some of them are overnight. Some of them are term maturity, meaning actually they just added one out to January. So on the 25th, they put $25 billion out for, was that, a couple months. So crazy, huh? Crazy. Again, this is not a bailout. This is the dysfunction of the overnight lending market. The banks don't trust each other because all their assets have been rehypothecated, meaning all the bonds have multiple owners. And that's got to do with the DTCC, and we talked about that quite a bit. And actually, one of our longtime friends at the Road to Ruta, Martin Armstrong, he knows what's going on, which is really cool. A customer of his said, "Marty, I want to thank you for your great conference. It is clear that you are the only true institutional advisor. Our board is very impressed. The FT reported that there is still no single factor that caused the dislocations in the repo market in mid-September. You are the only one who explains the event authoritative." Apparently, they're not on the Road Ruta. I wouldn't say I'm authoritative on it. Let's call it a lucky guess. Martin Armstrong answered, "Nobody will talk publicly. Everyone's scared to death of starting a panic. This is the best kept secret I have ever seen in my career. The real test comes at year end when banks typically step back from the repo market so that their balance sheets are smaller for December 31st regulatory calculations." That's a big day, December 31st. They got to be on sides at that point in time. We will see what really happens then on the chaos scale of 1 to 10. I find it really funny how there are articles calling it the new QE, to where the Fed is clandestinely buying T-bills through repo. This really seems to be an orchestrated effort at disinformation. It is hard to say if the people who make this up are deliberate agents of the government hired to keep people looking in the wrong direction. And he does talk about, in an earlier article, he talks about the what's going on in repos is the banks don't trust each other. Now, he doesn't talk about the rehypothecation of the bonds, but he does talk about there are some banks who are going under and nobody's talking about it, and that's why they had to change the way the interest rates are calculated and reported to people in the repo market, because they can't have another 10% jump. Now they take some crazy calculated average of the whole thing. It's all ridiculous, just to hide, obfuscate what's going on. And we could have 10% rates today. We don't know because the Fed no longer uses the calculations to tell you what the rates are. But the banks might be paying 10%. They just won't report on it. It's crazy, I know. But here's something really interesting that I just saw. China braces for December D-Day, the unprecedented default of a massive state-owned enterprise. This is a commodity trader, my friend. Yes, you're going to see silver and gold go absolutely nutso if this huge entity has silver and gold derivatives, which they probably do. Here's the article on Zero Hedge. Something is seriously starting to break in China's financial system. 3 days after we described the self-destructive doom loop that's tearing apart China's smaller bank, where a second bank run took place just 2 weeks ago, an unprecedented event for a country where until earlier this year, not a single bank was allowed to fail publicly, now has had no less than 5 high-profile bank nationalizations, bailouts, and runs this year. Chinese bond market is bracing itself for an unprecedented shock. A Fortune 500 Chinese commodity trader is poised to become the biggest and highest profile state-owned enterprise to default in the dollar bond market in over 2 decades. How many silver derivatives does this company have? Nobody knows. I guarantee you it's a lot. And if they're looking to take down the system, this could do it. Now, let's look at the price of silver and gold since the September 11th situation that started this whole repo thing in the first place. Right here. Remember, silver had climbed up from like $14 to $19 when starting to move. September 11th hits, bang, they slam it down right on cue. And that's also when they started bailing out the banks in the repo market. Same with gold, silver and gold. September 11th, bang. That's when they control the price downward. So this could be a huge deal, which is the Chinese government allowing a state-owned entity to go belly up. Can you imagine how many billions, if not trillions of dollars of derivatives that this entity has? And it's a commodity company. It's like 150 on the Fortune 500 list. It's monster. It's a big one. Meanwhile, in the crypto world, things are getting a little crazy. The obvious manipulation of the crypto markets, obvious by anybody willing to look at it. Look at Litecoin in the last 24 hours, 2.7 billion again, with $3 billion market cap again. Almost all Litecoin trades every single day. It is a con, it is a fraud. And now China's starting to crack down, and voila, we have a big crypto exchange that has all of a sudden locked things up. IDAX locks up cold wallet as CEO goes missing. How many times have we heard that in cryptos? These guys do not have the cryptos that they say they do. If you are holding any crypto or any money or anything in these exchanges, you will lose them. Those who had cryptos in IDEX, you're not going to see it. It's over. You'll be stuck in a bankruptcy for 20 years. Just like, look at Mt. Gox. That bankruptcy is still going on, believe it or not. Chinese cryptocurrency exchange IDEX has suspended deposits and withdrawals after its CEO allegedly disappeared. In a blog post on November 29th, IDEX, which earlier this week warned it was seeing a run on withdrawals, said the whereabouts of Li Gorong were currently unknown. It's because he did not have the coins. IDEX cold wallet access restricted. Since we have announced the announcement on November 24th, IDEX Global CEO have gone missing with unknown cause, and IDEX Global staffs, this is translated from Chinese, we're out of touch with IDEX Global CEO, it reads. The blog continues that as a precaution, the company's cold wallet was on lockdown to protect user funds. Good luck ever seeing that. Same thing they did with Mt. Gox. Mt. Gox didn't have all the Bitcoin they said that their customers owned, and that's what happened to Mt. Gox. Had nothing to do with getting hacked. It had nothing to do with losing coins. They didn't have the coins, and when people started to withdraw them, they had to shut down. Same thing's going on with IDEX. Same thing will go on with every crypto company. Keep an eye out. IDEX did not directly link Li with the cold wallet access, nor did it suggest that users' money was specifically at risk. The debacle follows a contentious period for cryptocurrency in China after authorities doubled down on the country's 2017 trading ban last week. As Cointelegraph reported, a sweep saw the central bank vowing to dispose of any exchanges it found flouting the ban. IDEX stopped serving Chinese users at the start of the week. Its predicament nonetheless provides yet another example of the pitfalls involved when trusting a third party to store cryptocurrency. Earlier this week, South Korean exchange Upbit likewise halted users' access to funds after a suspicious transaction saw more than $50 million leave its books all at once. That's not suspicious. That's someone got out before the world found out that it was a fraud. While investors appear to be waking up to the risk, recent data shows that even institutional traders still overwhelmingly prefer trusting others with their funds. Get your keys in your own possession. When's Trace Mayer's I think it's early January, that everybody's going to be pulling their cryptos off exchanges again. These exchanges are not long for this world, my friends. You should have done it by now. No crypto in any exchange. Coinbase, no. It's going to be gone. I'm telling you right now. More news. 5 crypto exchanges halt or shut services amid perceived crackdown in China. At least 5 Chinese cryptocurrencies exchanges have halted or chosen to terminate operations this month in response to the perceived redoubling of Beijing's anti-crypto stance. Exchange operator BitSoda informed the public on November 23rd of its decision to terminate, and ACDEX followed suit. On November 24th, IDAX cited Chinese government policy for its decision to prevent domestic clients from using its service, and it has since shut down. Likewise, with explicit reference to government policy, Btrex revealed November 25th that it would halt services immediately and reopen in the future for an overseas clientele only. It's all ridiculous. It's all a joke. It's all a con. Get out if you can. Good luck. You want to join the Road to Ruta? I am still giving away the Very token because it popped back under $20. It'll be going up again, and I'll pull the Very token soon. So if you want to subscribe or renew, go to roadtoruta.com, hit subscribe today. You also get the coolest silver coin ever invented, the Road to Ruta coin, individually numbered, double stamped with luster. There's the cave of gold in the Grand Canyon, silver brick road, Ruta jumping up and down for joy. We are real close, my friends. Real close. Anyway, that's your update. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Talk to you later.